it's Password Dots, and today we're making some Koroks based on the Legend of Zelda, because Breath of the Wild 2 comes out in, well, let's see, what time is it now? Tuesday. Next year? So we're gonna pass the time by making up some cute little forest sprites. I've got some commissions to get to, and also I want to talk about some things that I would like to see in the sequel to Breath of the Wild. Now saddle up, because I got opinions. I mean, they're not controversial or anything. Or are they? Nah. I'm not going to bait you with crazy fan theories or wild speculation. Or am I? What's the matter? You doing okay? You alright? You need to go out? You need to take a little, you need to drop a Korok seed? Okay, whatever. Let's talk about Zelda. Let's make a Korok. Let's do the thing. Let's stitch, baby. How do you like that? So real quick, I'm gonna show you how to make a Korok out of a sock. There's no wordplay that really rolls with that. Don't think I haven't tried. Wood is a funny thing to replicate, but with a soft doll, I really dig the Argyle look. I got these from a site called Bold Socks. Link is in the description. They are amazing. So we'll take this and cut out the shape of a little Korok body, roughly like so. To stitch it up, we first need to turn it inside out. That keeps the stitches concealed on the inside, and we'll zip those seams right up. Now flip it right side out again. A chopstick is useful to get the tiny little corners. Then take some stuffing and fill it tight, but not too tight. Just make sure to get in those small little spaces. Koroks in Breath of the Wild have tails. I don't know whether they did in Wind Waker, but we'll attach a tail on the back and 2 arms on the sides. Easy so far. We got a cute body-yaddy. Now comes the fun part. It's time to make a leaf face. For that, I've got some green felt, but Koroks come in many colors as well as shapes. This is the color and shape that I've chosen. We need 2 of those, and we also want to map out a face shape. I like dimension to a doll, so I want a top layer with those face holes cut out and placed over the bottom layer. To go between these layers, I take any kind of black fabric, like this scrap of t-shirt, and I cut some pieces out to fill my holes. And then we'll stitch all of that together. Sewing machine, hand sewing, they both have their merits. I do think the visual effect of a hand stitch is a bit nicer in this case, but you know, you say Deku, I say Deku. Actually, I used to refer to the people of Hyrule as Hylians, literally until Breath of the Wild released in 2017. I don't know, I thought that sounded better. I still kind of think that sounds better, but that's just me. Anyway, with the face embroidered, we just want to pop a nose on there. I enjoy when the nose is placed like a horn, like so. And then we attach that to the face, like yahaha. And just to add a bit more visual interest to the head here, I like to take some marker and brush on a bit of color, right along the veins and lightly around the edges. Push that dimension a little bit. Now we have that brief description out of the way. I want to jump into making a bunch of other Koroks and give my thoughts on Breath of the Wild 2, Tingle's New Horizons. Let's go, baby, yeah! So the most endearing factor to Breath of the Wild is its commitment to a player-guided atmosphere. The main quest is maybe 6 plot points, and you don't even have to follow it. As soon as you're done with the tutorial, you can skip all the fluff, kill Ganon, and scroll the credits. It brought genuine mystery back to the series and gave you full reign over a vast and dynamic landscape. I combed every square inch of that map. I rarely traveled on the roads. Exploring Hyrule in my own way was thrilling, and now I have a gaming journey with Zelda that's unique to me. I love that. Now the sequel, I mean, we don't know how direct it is after the first game, but I feel as though it couldn't be more than a year. And from what we've seen, it may be on the same map. Though it couldn't be the exact map, right? That would take away from what made the first game so great. We can't rediscover these environments unless maybe the game takes things underground. It seems to be a logical next step based on the lore of the game. The Sheikah technology was unearthed from the ground. There are 2 research facilities in Hyrule dedicated to researching that technology. The dungeons exist either underground or inside walking fortresses that came from, yes, the ground. Zelda's clearly interested in Sheikah technology. They find Ganondorf's haunted corpse underground, and a focus on spelunking expeditions would address the problem that a number of Zelda fans had with Breath of the Wild by adding some labyrinthian dungeon crawls. Now, this all ties into the thing I really want to see out of the sequel. If the map is going to be the same, the absence of the calamity is going to have a huge effect on the environment. There's no more Blood Moon, enemies won't run rampant, the Guardians are either destroyed or under Hylian control, maybe, and so the citizens aren't living under terror. They can reclaim the ruined towns, they can rebuild their society. Even if it's just a year coming to pass, civilization will start to take root again. Hyrule will be filled with music and activity. Instead of wandering hostile fields and wastelands, we can hitch rides on carriages, maybe even a train, to stations that used to be humble horse stables. And so the wilderness lives on when the player travels underground. No music, no civilization, we are once again alone. Like any good sequel, we get to experience growth. Then we have to leave it behind to continue battling the unknown. And then we've got whatever mystical forces were holding Ganondorf down in a well with all the glowy hands and Sheikah mummy jewelry. I wasn't a fan of the Yiga clan in implementation, but I loved what they were able to bring to the table as far as warring factions of the Sheikah are concerned. It would be great to see that tension come to a head with Link and Zelda at the center of it. Maybe Ganondorf is a casualty of those dark Sheikah forces? I know that he's a god incarnate, but it would be interesting for Ganondorf to have been caught up in something that he, in his mortal body, doesn't really comprehend. And the overreaching threat is actually the ancient Sheikah that the King of Hyrule always mistrusted. Wait, pause for a sec, because you may notice here that one of my Koroks is a little different from the others. Someone asked if I could make their Korok look like a robot, which I thought was a super cool prompt and my imagination ran away from me, so I just want to point out how my little deviation on the forum went down. I got these gray Argyle socks, I think from eBay. They're a bit smoother than the tan ones, more synthetic, but while they aren't as comfortable to wear, they make great material for a Robo Korok. Robok. Korbot. Robo-Rock. I mapped out a rough outline of the antenna shape since I didn't want to mess that up. I didn't follow it too closely, but it turned out just fine. Anyway, that's the difference. Korobot. Crowbot. Now, this isn't mandatory, but giving each of your Koroks a boop before applying the leaves is said to bring great prosperity to your crops and your marriage, so I do encourage some generous boopage. Anyway, back to talking about Zelda. I've noticed a lot of fan discussion over a sympathetic Ganondorf. I would be down with that. Not necessarily a good guy, but someone you can maybe relate to on some level. And story-wise, it's a great pivot off the first game to be somewhat united, even reliant on the help of the man who tried to kill you. Not groundbreaking stuff by any means, but it's a change of pace for the series. A breath of fresh air, if you will. Oh my god, what if the sequel is called Breath of Fresh Air? I also imagine that the 4 new champions are going to play a bigger role in the sequel. Wouldn't a CPU partner-up mechanic be cool? Like, I don't know, like you get access to different abilities based on your companion? Huh? Even if it's, I don't know, restricted to certain dungeons or tasks, that'd be cool, right? It's like Link and Zelda are putting the band back together, I don't know. Now, speaking of new moves, these caverns have got to contain new runes. I mean, expanding the toolkit with the sequel is a given. What those new runes could be, I wouldn't even want to guess, but The 3 main runes from the first game were about physics, and there's one piece of equipment that Link has had for almost every adventure that would be an amazing addition to this game. Imagine, if you will, coming to a deep chasm with no way around. You whip out your runes, and shwabam! Link reaches out with his makin hookshot. And you know how Link was able to get upgraded versions of his runes? Hookshot Plus is kapow! Double hookshot, turn this sequel into Spider-Man 2 the movie the game. Oh, speaking of equipment, this is a nitpicky thing, but if I could upgrade, or at least dye the special clothing, that'd be excellent. It was kind of a bummer to get the gear like the Dark Link outfit and not be able to wear it because its armor rating is so low. I need more reasons to visit my fairy babes! Oh, God, Nintendo, please tell me the Great Fairies are going to be in the sequel. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I will literally die without them. And I feel weird saying this because I never liked fishing in Zelda games, but I would love to get some traditional fictional into the sequel. Catching them like a bear in the river or an Appalachian moonshiner was fun, but casting a line and waiting for the bite has a reward of its own. In fact, bring some other mini-games back. Let's do something with bombs. Let's do some diving quests, more camera quests. Let's sprinkle in even more activities for us to get into when we meet up with townspeople. Also, it goes without saying, but I'm gonna say it anyway, because we're all thinking it, everybody wants it, Nintendo knows it, Aonuma knows it, Playable Zelda. It's just, give us the Zelda. Is that gonna happen? It's definitely possible. Is anything I said here gonna come to fruition? I don't know. Maybe you're watching this video from
the future.
You tell me. Those of you in
the future.
Is the game out? Has Prime 4 been released? And that's really all I have to say about the upcoming sequel to Breath of the Wild. Let me know your thoughts. Are you as excited as I am to gather all 900 Korok seeds in fun and exciting brand new locations? What fun new costumes are we gonna get? Will Cass learn some new songs? We'll just have to wait and see as... No. Oh no, not now, not like this. No. No, there were still things I needed to do. I still need more time. I had to tell them to subscribe. I had to tell them to keep making stuff. No, not like this. This can't be happening. No! No!